What's up? I'm OBG. So what are the top 10 rums from around the world under $30 that are accessible that you can drink right now that are just amazing values for the money? Let's jump into it. Now, all of these rums are accessible and you'll easily find them at your local liquor store. There might be one or two that are more difficult to find, but other than that, these top 10 rums from around the world are really gonna give you an insight on what is out there, the different styles, and just amazing quality for the price point. So let's get to number 10. My first pick is from Barbados, and that would be Mount Gay Eclipse. Now, this distillery was established in 1703 and has been around for more than 300 years. The Mount Gay Eclipse is aged in ex-American whiskey barrel for a minimum of 2 years. This has a proof of 80 or an ABV of 40, and this retails for $20. Now, when we talk about Mount Gay Distillery, this is the oldest running rum distillery in the world. It has more than 300 years of just making rum on a daily basis. This is an absolute steal when it comes to the quality of the rum versus the amount of money. For $20, you really can't get much more out of a quality rum than Mount Gay Eclipse. Let's go to number 9. And this one, we're gonna go to Jamaica. And my favorite pick out of all of these Jamaican rums, well, of course, is the Appleton 8-year-old Estate Reserve. This is just an absolute steal for the money. This is aged for 8 years in ex-bourbon cask. It has an ABV of 40 or a proof at 80, and it sells under $30. This rum is just a pure steal. You can easily find this for $25. And when we talk about Jamaican rum, well, there's only one distillery that you need to be paying attention to, and that would be the Appleton Distillery. They are world famous. They crank out some crazy rums, a lot of really old stuff at the same time, but this 8-year-old for $25 and sometimes just under 30 is just an absolute steal, and it's a must taste. Don't pass over this rum. This is just really good for the money. Let's go to number 8. And for this one, we're gonna go to the tiny island of St. Croix. Now, St. Croix is the home of Cruzan Distillery. Now, Cruzan makes a lot of different products, but the one that really stands out to me is the Cruzan Single Barrel. Now, this has an ABV of 40 or a proof of 80. This retails for $30. Now, this is a mix of 6 to 12-year-old. It's blended, but just think about that. You are getting some 12-year-old in there for under $30. This is just an absolute steal, and it's gonna give you a real understanding of what Cruzan actually does as a distillery. They do make a lot of really good products, but when we look at their full lineup, this is by far the best value out of all of the rums that they make. All right, let's move on to number 7. For that one, we're gonna go to South America, and we're gonna go to Venezuela. The Diplomatico Mantuano Extra Aneo. Now, this is a blend of 8-year-old, and this has an ABV of 40 or a proof of 80. And this will give you a real understanding of what Venezuela does when it comes to the rum category. For under $30, you're getting 8-year-old rum. This, again, is just a steal for the money. It is a must-have. And Diplomatico is pretty much everywhere. I promise you, if you go to the store right now, you will find one of their products. But for the money, this is the best one out of the whole lineup. All right, let's move on to number 6. And for this one, I'm going to the British Virgin Islands with the Purser's British Navy Rum. Now, this is a classic blend of 5 different distilleries located between Guyana, which is famous for their Demerara sugar, and Trinidad. This has some serious complexity. It really is on another level. The ABV on here is 40 or a proof of 80, and this retails for only $25. Now, if we wouldn't have Purser's rum, we really wouldn't have spice rum as we know it today. Because traditionally, the Navy of the British Islands would give out a ration daily, and sometimes the rum wasn't very good. So what did the crew do? They actually started spicing their own rums. Now, this is a pure molasse distilled rum. This is an absolute beauty, and if you do get a chance to try the 15-year-old, yes, I know it's $100, but that 15-year-old Purser is just mind-blowing. It's one of the greatest rums in the world by far, and for only $100, it's just crazy. You do get a chance to understand that whole mentality of the Navy and their rum into a single bottle that's under $25. This is an absolute buy. All right, let's move on to number 5. For this one, I'm going to the Philippines. Now, you're probably thinking, the Philippines? Yes, and that would be Tang Due. Now, Tang Due is the #1 selling rum in the world. They sell more than 22 million cases a year. And for this one, my 2 picks, since they're equally at the same price of $20, is the Tang Due Silver and the Tang Due Amber. Now, the silver is aged for 5 years and then filtered down and bottled, as the amber is aged for 7 years and then just bottled, not filtered. And this is by far the rum of the year when it comes to quality versus price, because Tang Due itself, both of those are $20 a bottle. And for $20, you just can't match that quality out there. Tang Due is coming to America more and more, and if you can find it, this is just amazing rum for the money. This is a brand that is going to overtake this market. It just needs another 5 to 10 years, but eventually Tang Due will really make its mark. All right, let's move on to number 4. And for this one, I'm going to Nicaragua for Flor de Cana 7-year-old. Now, this is just a stunning rum for the money since it only retails for $25. It's aged in ex-American whiskey casks, and this has an ABV of 40 or a proof of 80. When it comes to Flor de Cana, this, again, is just a pure value. This is something that you need to try. Even if you just try the 3-year-old, that rum is just amazing for the money since you'll be under $20. But when we look at the whole lineup, that rum is just so damn good for the money. I mean, you're getting 7-year-old Nicaragua rum, just amazing stuff. All right, let's move on to number 3. And for number 3, we're going back to the Caribbeans, and that would be the Chairman's Reserve. Now, this is out of St. Lucia, and this is the best spice rum on the market by far. Since it's aged for a minimum of 5 years, then they spice it with cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, vanilla, coconut, allspice, lemon, and orange peel. And then it's aged again for another 6 months. Now the ABV on here is 40 or a proof of 80, and this retails for $30. Now this one's gonna be a little harder to find, but if you can find Chairman's Reserve, you will never go back to any other spice rum out there, since they're using all natural ingredients to actually spice the rum. They're not using cheap compounds where they're trying to trick you and just put shitty tasting stuff in there. This is the real deal. And for $30, this is by far the best spice rum in the world for the money, without a doubt. All right, let's move on to number 2. Now, this is one of my favorites of all time, and that would be the Barbacoa. Barbacoa makes just amazing rum. And my selection in here is the 8-year-old 5-star reserve. This is agricultural rum, meaning that it's made from sugarcane juice rather than molasses. It's aged in Limousin oak for 8 years. This has an ABV of 40 or a proof of 80, and this retails for $30. Now, Barbacoa rum is not a traditional sweet rum. Like I said, it's sugarcane juice base, it's not molasses base, so it's not going to be as sweet. This has a much drier style to it, and it's something that you can really understand once you try it, because it's really one of the most underrated rums out there by far. Again, you're getting 8-year-old rum for under $30, just a mind blower. And my number 1 pick is the El Dorado 12-year-old, since this is just insane rum for the money. I mean, you're getting 12-year-old at $30. Yes, it might be a little bit more expensive in some market, but this is my go-to when it comes to aged rum. I just did a review of the 3, the 8, the 12, and the 21-year-old, and they are just all crazy good for the money. I mean, just insanity. And I don't know who is doing the actual pricing for this 12-year-old, because at $30, that person should get fired. This is just insane to me. This is by far the best value when it comes to rum on the market, without a doubt. This is just pure insanity. Now, that is my top 10 picks of the top 10 rums under $30 from around the world. Now, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. You can leave comments if you have any. I will gladly answer them whenever you're ready. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'm OBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember, my friend, stay sober. Peace.